Jobs are over. Your jobs are over. And with that, I got a video from Valuetainment that talks about this and explains it a little bit better.
To release all congressional sexual misconduct and harassment reports, which is kind of weird, right? The House on Wednesday voted to scuttle an effort by Republican Nancy Mace to shed more light on sexual misconduct allegations against members of Congress, and here's what happened. In the vote, by the way, just so you know how close it was, 357 to 65.
Wow, that was really
The
close.
House voted to refer the Mace resolution to committee, a move that effectively killed it. Go ahead, Rob.
All right. I support Representative Mace's subpoena here, as well as the amendment to it. And I just think it's really disgusting how this institution protects itself, because y'all just half of them voted to send this stuff to House Ethics, where you know it's going to die. We know that members of Congress are using taxpayer dollars to pay off sexual harassment. We just had a member of Congress literally sexually harass a woman that then lit herself on fire, and you guys all protected him. You guys all protected my own side, your side. And so if you guys want to talk about victims, if you want to go out and virtue signal, and then you guys are going to kill her stuff on the floor and then try to pass it. Yeah, of course, we should subpoena all of this stuff. But just, I'm not going to sit here and play games. I think it's a complete fraud. I think that's why the American people hate us. I think the midterms are coming up, and everyone should go on record for this. And I hope that members are exposed for this. I hope it goes back, I think, to the 70s, because it's wrong that it's happening. It's wrong that we cover up for it. It's wrong that we can't censor our own side because people are busy making deals because you guys don't want to censor your side. It's a deal that's been cut, and people hate us for it. So, yeah, I support it.
Tom.
Yeah, alcoholics vote against bill forcing bars to close early. You know, it's like that's exactly what we have here. This is an embarrassment. This is an embarrassment. And what they're saying, ladies and gentlemen, and this really is so disappointing. This is why the Epstein files aren't out. This is why you have controversies and things don't get out. Because if you have one moment of transparency here, by the way, this is also why we don't have the line item veto. The line item veto, remember they talk about this, Pat? The line item veto would say that you could look inside of a bill and say, wait a minute, this is an Inflation Reduction Act. Why do we have $1 billion going to Ukraine? How is that going to reduce inflation? That line item comes out of here. So it would force us to be voting on very specific things. But what you have here is you have a corrupt system. And the corrupt system doesn't want to have light shown into the dark corners. Because if you show light on this, guess what? Half these people don't get elected, Pat. We're going into election. How many people do you think not get elected if this comes out?
What do you mean? 357 of them.
Now you're not it's no longer allegations of impropriety. It's like Senator Oshana was $40,000 paid to Bubbles Jenkins that worked on your staff and supposedly had a harassment thing.
Bubbles Jenkins, I like that.
Right.
One.
It's like, yeah, that's a private matter. No, the American taxpayer paid $40,000 to Bubbles, and we have a non-disclosure agreement.
Is this true, Vinny?
But Pat, that's what would happen. And what we're hearing about is these are $10,000, $20,000, even $50,000 settlements that we're hearing about, Pat. And if all of these go out, half these people wouldn't get reelected in the fall because it's no longer an allegation. It would be truth.
How disgusting. Like, if you think about this, guys, 182 Democrats and 175 Republicans said, you know what? We're not going to release it.
Well, it's almost bipartisan.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Right. And by the way, on that list, just to make a point, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Ilhan Omar, Jamie Raskin, all these, I don't want to hear any of them say one thing ever again about transparency with Epstein. Ever again. They're voting to protect their own people. And I'm going to quote the late, great George Carlin that he said, it's a big club and you ain't in it. Pat, they all take care of each other. They all look out for each other. You know who she was talking about?
You know Omar's protecting somebody because can you picture her sexually harassing someone?
Oh,
impossible.
Yeah, exactly. So a former you know who she was talking about? Paulina Luna, Pat? Republican Representative Tony Gonzalez named Regina Santos Avila. She died in September 2025. She set herself on fire in front of her own home in Uvalde, Texas. They ruled it a suicide. Later reporting revealed that she had an affair with Gonzalez while working in his office, which violates the House rules. Okay, and text messages showed that the congressman asking her for explicit photos. This is all disgusting, and you named it, Tom. Look at the timing. Look at everything that's happening with Epstein, okay, about what they knew and what they didn't know. And this is why. This is why the trust in government, the Gallup poll, 16% of Americans, only 16%, trust the government. They cover up everything. You have the DOJ lying about this. You have them lying. Pat, I've never been this disgusted and disappointed ever in my entire, once I realized what politics was, than this right here. That's a spit in the face. That's us saying, hey, you know, my other friends on the aisle, we're going to protect you, you protect us, and let's keep going. Only 65, how many of them said that?
And this is protecting the guilty? Imagine what happens when now you have protecting the guilty like this, and then you're going to have condemnation of the innocent because there's going to be AI that comes out in the middle of elections. And it's like, wait, I never did that. I wasn't with that. Oh, no, you're on this website. You're over here. You're doing this. Just wait. We're not going to be able to tell the difference between truth and fiction in the mudslinging that is our election system.
Thomas Massey, I want to say last year came out and he was held a piece of...
But I'm going to pause that real quick. You know how we're going to be able to tell? By people's actions, your voting record. How did you vote in Congress? Because I don't care about the commercials anymore. What did you do? How did you vote? And how is it affecting the American people? Because right now, Anna Paulina Luna was very correct. The American people do not like us. They see everything that we're doing that affects us. Now, when it comes to the federal level, a lot of people might say, well, you know, everything on the federal level doesn't affect us. You know, for the most part, yes, but it trickles down. And so you've got mayors, right? And you've got governors, and you've got other city officials like your councilmen, right? And people that are in the county level positions. They're following what the party does in some instances, as opposed to what the people need. So you have the sanctuary states and cities following the dictate at the federal level, right? Oh, it's okay to keep putting men and women in sports. Oh, it's okay to keep, you know, taking rights away from parents. I mean, I'm just saying. This bill, you're voting to protect yourselves. So what do you think is going to trickle down to the states? These are the things that are happening at the federal level. I'm already look, the states, they're probably more corrupt than the federal level. They're just hiding better. Come on. We can do better. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this because it's kind of a long video, but I wanted you to see this exchange.
Paper in Congress. He came out. He said 17. So look at this. That was perfect, Robbie. Thank you. 17.2 million was paid out for various workplace disputes from 1997 to 2017. Guys, in 20 years,
that's almost $1 million a year.
Almost $1 million a year, Adam, just for tell people to shut up. And by the way, that's tax dollars. That's our money to keep girls from not saying anything because of the perverts that are in Congress. Okay?
Or men. It's not just women that have been harassed by members of Congress. It's men as well. Okay? Yeah. That's happening too. And it's not men on men, because that's happening too. It's women harassing men. Oh. I'll just throw in that nice little word. Allegedly. But that's happening too.
This is unbelievable, but it's infuriating. They're all perverts. It's like Epstein Island in Washington. No, Adam,
264. That's like half the number of. That's a little under half the number of electoral votes.
Call them perverts. But by the way, I'm still shocked. You're surprised by all this stuff.
No, I'm not. No,
we expected.
Adam, I'm not. I'm disappointed and I'm disgusted. I'm
your
not shocked.
expectations are here.
No, Adam,
and then reality hits here.
But Adam,
I'm not shocked.
Here?
What I'm shocked is the vote. The size of the gap of the vote.
Come on, guys. They're going to protect themselves. That's like saying, hey, guys, we want to do term limits. We're going to take a vote. No, there's no vote. Hey, guys, we want to increase our pay. Yeah, we all vote for it.
Balanced
Come on,
budget
guys.
amendment, line item veto. No, can't have that.
But Adam, but I don't want to hear. But here's my point: is I never want to hear. Adam, these are the people making the rules and the laws for me and you to just live our lives. They're disgusting human beings, Adam. You want to cover up the fact that sexual harassment, Adam, we don't know the level of what they're talking about.
Let me try to explain maybe.
What? Explain what? I didn't
let me explain maybe how politics and power works. Remember the song back in the day from the Lox and Lil Kim? She goes, first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the respect. So you get money, power, respect, and then you got sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So what's the famous quote about when someone has money just like power? Money doesn't change someone, it just reveals or amplifies who they already are. So these people take power. If you're a disciplined person that gets stuff done and you're going to be faithful to your wife and not be a total creep, you will be that person when you get money and power. But if you're an impulsive person who's reckless, once you get the money and the power, you're going to do weird things. And that's what these people are doing. That's my opinion on this.
But Adam, you know what they should be doing? You know what just happened a couple days before this,
the
day before? No. Yeah, on top of that. Pat, you saw what Tim Tebow came in front of Congress, sat there, and was talking about the Renewed Hope Act.
Pleading for the protection of kids.
And Rob, I sent you the photo of this map. Pat, do you mind if I talk about this really quick? So, Representative Lauren Lee, this bill would add more than 200 specialized DHS agents focused on identifying child victims, prosecuting predators, and working through the massive backlog of cases reported by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guys, in 2024 alone, the organization received more than 20.5 million tips and 29.2 million incidents of child sexual abuse. Now, during his testimony, and for you guys that haven't seen this, look at this map. He showed this map in front of Congress.
Okay, so we have roughly, 350 million people. He said over 20 million have been reported. That's scary. That's close to a little bit less than 10% of our entire population. So this isn't a small issue. This is an epidemic issue. We have a problem here. And we have a Congress that won't even hold themselves accountable. So how do you think they're going to hold everybody else accountable? Let's keep going.
In the United States, more than 300, Adam, and 38,000 red dots. Each dot represents a unique IP address that has been caught trading or distributing child sex abuse material. This is just 6 months, Pat, okay? 6 months, and the majority of this material is child rape material. I hate that I had to say that word. They're watching this daily, and mind you, this is 6 months, and these aren't, mind you, the average offender, Pat, of these people have 13 plus victims in their entire lifetime. And
Stop it.
13 plus victims, meaning physical victims, average in their lifetime. What? Tim Tebow did this in front of Congress. Now, the majority of these cases, guys, that you're watching on this map were children younger than 12. It's the fastest group of child trafficking victims is 12 years old. And what's not even more, do you see the blue map, the blue dots, Rob? Go to the blue dots. Those are actual investigations, Patrick. Look at the blue dots. Those are the only investigations happening from...
You can barely see the blue dots amongst the red ones. The red ones are the IP addresses that they've been able to ping. And in some spaces, they're so red that they're dark, because that's how much it's happening. And the blue dots are like here, some trickled out here. You can't even really see if anything's being investigated over on the East Coast. This is bad. This is bad.
All these disgusting demons that we're surrounded by. So, Adam, to the point, they're worried about protecting perverts in Washington. This is the problem.
Okay, so
this is what you need to be doing.
Let me ask you one thing.
What?
And I'm being dead ass serious.
Okay, go.
If you could only stop one of the two following things, if you could only, Epstein Island or all this, what would you want to see?
I think
stopped?
it coincides, Adam.
Well,
I think it's both. One. I think it's I'm not saying it's like a gotcha question, but Adam, these are the same people, and mind you, these are. Hold on one second.
Let me help you out.
Go ahead.
This is what the problem is.
No, Adam, it's no. I believe they're both connected.
Okay.
Let me. You asked me. Let me finish. Can I finish?
It's sex trafficking.
Let me.
This is the worst.
But here's the problem. The people on the island are perpetrating what's happening outside. Who do you think's in charge of a lot of this stuff? It's in our Congress, because obviously they're protecting it. So the rich people feel protected, and they're protecting the ones that are on the ground. It coincides, because you can play whack-a-mole with the entire map, but if you do not get to the root of the problem, the entire map is always going to stay where it is. So if you were to give me a choice, I want to go after the people on Epstein's Island. I want these people dog walked, not shamed in the public. No, you lose everything. We are coming to your house. We are finding you, and we are retrieving assets of all sorts, and you're going to a maximum prison. Actually, can we just put you in El Salvador? Can we just send you there? I don't care what your last name is. Rockefeller, Rothschild, I don't care. The 1%ers. Yeah, y'all need to be dog walked into prison and left there and lose everything. And I mean everything. You're done. Toast. But that's me. Now, a lot of people will say, well, what about us? Because see, if you